You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so don't build your business without one. This is Mindset Monday, where we lay out the tools, frameworks, and mindset you need to scale your contracting or trading business today. I guess I took myself off the stage. Welcome back to Mindset Monday. I'm your host, Gerritt Bake, here in conjunction with our good friends over at Contractor Plus. We just got a new shirt. Guess you can't see it because the mic's in the way. Hold on. There you go. Bill Pro. I love it. We're going to start doing some giveaways here, I think next week. That's what we got planned. Excited for you guys. So if you're here live, go ahead and drop your name and your business name in the chat, and we'll give you a good old shout out. First of all, I want to apologize. I was sick last week. Whatever the hell is going around came and got me and absolutely destroyed me. And in fact, I'll probably be coughing once or twice. So I apologize for that, but definitely feeling a whole lot better than I was before. So happy to be here for sure. Got ground fog that gave us the good old hand wave. Welcome, my friend, to the show. All right. So something really interesting happens when you're focused on growing your business, right? And it's this idea or this thought that everything is your responsibility. And it's not that it's a bad thing, because honestly, that's the only way that your business ever grows to the level that you want it to grow to. We just onboarded a new assistant as client success manager is what we're calling him yesterday, or not yesterday. Today's Monday, Thursday of last week. And in part of that conversation, I talked to him about the reason why we wanted him to be part of our team. But I also talked to him about the hardest thing that I have, and that's letting go, right? Letting go of everything, letting go of control over what happens and how it happens, right? And this is the biggest reason most contractors get stuck. Again, if you're here with us live, go ahead and drop your name and your business name in the chat, and we'll give you the good old shout out. This is why contractors get stuck, right? So how many of you are over 7 figures? There's probably a handful of you, and some of you are under 7 figures. This is not a revenue thing, though. This is a growth thing, right? And as you're growing your business, you're going to notice that you have a really hard time letting go, right? Which makes you, unfortunately, the bottleneck. The bottleneck. And what is a bottleneck, right? That is the place that everything seems to get stuck. Some of you guys grew up like I did, right? Drinking from the garden hose, as they say. And what was the worst thing about watering your lawn with the hose? It's when the hose would get a kink, right? And you'd have to go find the kink, and you have to let out the kink. Then all of a sudden the water would shoot out, right? You are the kink right now in your business. You are the reason that your business isn't growing anymore. Now, some of you are here with your partner and you're like, well, I'm not the bottleneck. My partner's the bottleneck. Doesn't matter. You're one of the owners. There are bottlenecks in your business. And the unfortunate truth is you and or your partner are the bottlenecks. And so you want your business to keep growing. The problem is it won't, because of one person. That's you. We've got, let's get some shout outs here. We got Doyle Coleman says, hi, welcome. We got Zenthic. I think I said that right. Says hi. We've got Stacy with Great Solutions. Welcome to the show. We got Joseph with MJ Plumbing, excuse me. Welcome. We got Tom Lindstrom with Handy Dandy Handyman Service. Welcome to the show. So why is it that we have a hard time letting go, right? You hired people, you probably bought some kind of software, you quote unquote delegated it. So why is it that everything still runs through you? I want you to consider something. I want you to consider this thought, that the problem isn't your team. The problem isn't your CRM. The problem is how you designed your business. Let me repeat that for you. The problem is in your team. It's not your software. It's not the logo on the side of your truck. It's not your website. The problem is how you designed your business. Because the unfortunate thing is you've designed a business that has to run through one person and one person only, and that's you, right? So I want to show you today how to get out of your own way and the steps that you can take to make a business that runs without you. Now, I want you to understand something. I'm just like you, right? And I've gone through a lot of these things, but I can tell you today, for example, I don't know exactly what's happening on the 2 job sites we're on. I don't. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not, because we have my wife, who's my partner, who runs operations. She knows exactly what's happening. She's managing the subs. She's communicating with the supervisors and with the project managers. I don't have to be, and I trust her. Okay. But I'm going to show you what this process looks like. We got Randy says, have a great day from Oklahoma. Hopefully there's not too much ice down there for you, my friend. So number one, okay, the business is built around you. It's built around you. So when you think about this, you're probably like, why do people keep calling me? Because they have to, because you've created a business that has people needing to call you. Hey, boss, we're short on supplies. Do you want me to go pick this up? Hey, the client says that they're not ready. So what should we do? Hey, and we just keep finding reasons to have people call us. And I get it. At the beginning, it sounds and feels really cool. You're like, da, 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 I got my Superman cape on. Hey, all decisions run through me. It's nice to feel needed until it's 11 o'clock at night and you're realizing that the work you should have gotten done during the day, you're having to get done at night because you're too busy putting out fires during the day. Tell me I'm wrong. We got Nancy with Hummingbird Handyman out of Colorado. Welcome to the show. Julie, welcome. It's been a while, but so glad you can make it. We are very happy that you're here. Handy Hands Home Improvement out of Bloomfield, New Jersey. Welcome to the show. It feels good to be wanted. It feels good to be wanted, right? Except that that's actually what's holding you back. Every decision has to run through you. Every meeting, you run. Every client, it's through you. Every bid or every estimate, through you. You answer every question. You approve every decision. You fix every mistake. You are the one that holds the relationships. And so now you've created a team, which is great. Listen, I love having my team. I love them. But what I don't want is my team waiting for me, right? Imagine if you didn't have your phone. If you could go a week without your phone and your business still runs, congratulations. You've created something that can run without you. If you can't go 5 minutes without your phone ringing or having to answer a phone, you know exactly where you're at. Nancy says, will this be recorded? Yeah, it will on Facebook. It'll be recorded. We got Rachel with NSP Construction in West Virginia. Welcome to the show. So think about this for a minute. Okay. If the business can't move without you, you didn't build a team. You just collected a whole bunch of helpers, right? So think about this as we're moving forward, right? Because I want to talk about how to get out of your own way, how to get on your own way, right? Again, it feels really good to have solutions to problems, except when they're the same problems and the same solutions. And it's like Groundhog Day every day. We have an electrical contractor that we worked with. He did about $3.5 million this last year. One of the biggest things that he had to let go of was making all the decisions. And he would come in at the beginning of the year frustrated and tired. My project managers don't seem to get it and they don't understand. And they that. And I said, all right, so what would happen if you shut off your phone? He's like, I don't know. I think my business would collapse. And I said, what's missing? Well, what do you guys think was missing? Right? There wasn't a definition to the problem. Okay. Your job is not to answer the question. Your job is not to put out fires. Your job is to say, what's happening? Why is it happening? And how do I keep it from happening again? What's happening? Why is it happening? How do I keep it from happening again? Because if not, you're just going to be dealing with the same things over and over and over again, right? I have an employee, Chelsea. She's been my assistant for 6 years now. I love Chelsea. She's amazing. We've started this new process where we have this video editing service, and they're supposed to edit the videos for us in a certain format, blah, 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 and then help us be able to post those on social media. Well, they haven't been doing it. And so Chelsea, I'll ask her for updates. How are we doing on this video? How are we doing on that thing? And she'll send me the video and she'll say, here's what we have. Initially, for the first probably 5.5 years, what would I do? I would say, oh, well, fix this, change that. Let's modify this, right? Yeah, I just got that problem taken care of. Except when it happened again and again and again. And finally, I realized that, you know what I need to do with Chelsea is I need to empower Chelsea to make the decisions that she needs to make in her position. Here's the framework. Here's the outcome that we're after. Here's the steps to get there. This is your responsibility. So now when she sends something over to me, like she did this morning, which was a finished product, excuse me, she asked me, what do you think? And I said, I don't know. What do you think? And I dumped it back on her. I dumped it back on her because I wanted her to understand that it's her responsibility. It's her problem. It's her responsibility, right? She needs to figure it out. Now, if there's something outside of that I need to deal with, I will. But ultimately, my job is to empower her to do her job. We got Sean with Mower Medic, close to Beaumont, Texas. Welcome to the show. So your job is to stop solving and start defining. Don't answer the question, right? Figure out, is this a process problem that I have? Instead of coming to ask me, what should I do, boss? What should I do in this situation? I don't know what to do. Start asking yourself, do I have checklists? Do I have SOPs? Do I have rules, right? When people call you and say they're done with the job, what does that mean? You're going to ask them a series of questions. Did you do this? Did you do this? How about this? How about that? If you're doing that on every single job, create a checklist. And now when they call you and they say, hey, boss, we're done with the job. Cool. Did you finish the checklist? No. Okay, then you're not done with the job. Call me when you are. Click. And now when they call you and they're done with the job, they're done with the job. They follow the checklist, right? If somebody doesn't know how to do something, create a process around it. Create an SOP around it. So you have a reference point to go back to. And it's not YOU. Your job isn't to be the smartest person in the room. It's to make a business that's duplicatable, because what's duplicatable is scalable. Pause for dramatic effect. All right. Now, what is it that you need to do? Okay. So let's go back to this electrical contractor. What we started to identify first was at the different levels, right? The lead, the project manager, right? At these different levels, we said, what are the decisions that can be made at this level? Right? I don't have to get involved. Hey, we're short on wire. Why are you calling me? I don't have to get involved, right? So what are the decisions that can be done at a level below yours, right? List that out. Then who is responsible for making those decisions, right? Assign it to someone. Now, there's going to be some things that fall through the cracks, right? What needs your approval? And they should know that as well, right? So for our commercial construction management company, if there's a safety issue, I don't care if somebody stubbed their toe. I need to know. I need to know. We literally had a guy fall off a ladder on a job site. You think OSHA likes that? No. You think I like it? No. But I need to know. Why do I need to know? Because it's a decision that I need to be involved in, right? Materials were short. I don't care. Figure it out. Does that make sense? Now, people, whoever you have on your team, whether it's your first hire, your 10th hire, your 30th hire, people can't own the results if they don't own the decisions. So if you want somebody to be responsible for something, they need to own that decision. Okay? They need to own that decision. You can't delegate responsibility without delegating authority. They need that authority, so give it to them. Now, it doesn't mean that you turn your back and ignore it. You still hold them accountable, but they need that authority. Third thing, and this was really hard for me. In fact, it still is. Let them do it their way. Let them do it their way. How many different ways are to put a shingle on a roof? How many different ways are to the wire? How many different ways are to mow a lawn? How many different ways are to put on a new door? There's so many different ways to do it. You're going to create your standard. As long as this is the end result, do it your way. They might switch some steps around. They might find a better, faster, more efficient way to do it. Great. As long as this is the finished product, that's what we care about. So let them do it their way. Okay. Otherwise, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be nitpicking. John, did you do step 5? I didn't do step 5. It wasn't applicable on this install. Actually, it was, and you skipped step 5. And why didn't you do step? Oh my goodness. You're slowing down everything else, right? Standards. Listen to me. Standards, right? People talk about standards all the time. I have it on my wristband, right? Raise the standard. People talk about standards all the time. Standards define what good looks like, not how every step looks, right? What good looks like, not how every step looks. Your job is to define what good looks like, right? Last point inside of here. There's going to be a learning curve. There is. And you have to be comfortable with it, right? That's not failure, right? That's training opportunities. Now, obviously, we want to see improvement, right? But understand there's going to be a learning curve. Just remember this. If it only works for you, it's not a system, okay? And we're after creating a system. So what's the first step then to build a business that can run without you? Like, in September, we're going to Europe for 2 weeks. I'm so freaking excited. Always want to go to Europe. We wanted to go this last year. Our daughter decided to get married and move into our basement. So that went, that's where all my money went, right? Wanted to go to Europe. We're going this year for 2 weeks. I have to have a business that can run without me for 2 weeks, right? So what's the first step? Okay. The first step isn't necessarily about hiring more people. Okay. It's not about hiring more people. It's removing yourself from the middle. It's removing yourself from every little step. So how do we do this? Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Super simple. Okay. At the end of every day, look back over your day and say, what were 2 or 3 things today that happened and I was involved or had to run through me that didn't need to? It could have been a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be an approval. It could be any of a number of things, right? 2 or 3 things. And then say, okay, how do I remove this from being my responsibility? It's either a role, it's a rule, or it's a system, right? How do I remove that? And I need to assign it to someone because otherwise it's just going to sit there, okay? And as you start to do this, you're going to see that what seemed to be an overwhelming amount of crap on your plate is now slowly starting to dwindle. And I'll tell you right now, it's scary and exciting, but it's scary and exciting the fact that I have somebody that manages all my social media, manages my conversations, books things on my calendar, and we have all these things happening where I don't have to be involved. And that's in the consulting. Let's go to the construction company. My job is to bring in leads. That's it. Shake hands, kiss babies, build relationships, get opportunities coming in the door. We have somebody else who's in charge of the estimating process. We have somebody else who's in charge of the bidding process. We have somebody else who's in charge of finding and vetting the subs that we use for jobs. We have somebody else that's in charge of billing and payroll and all of that stuff. I don't have to be involved. That business, now we are going to have to find somebody for my wife, full transparency, but that business I could leave for 2 weeks and not be concerned about it, right? So as we wrap up this conversation, I want you to think about this, okay? A couple of key points. Number one, the business is built around you. And that's just a reality you're going to have to come to terms with. And if you don't want it to be built around you, you have to start defining standards. You have to start pushing responsibilities and decisions somewhere else. You have to start letting go of control, right? The first step in creating a business that can run without you is removing yourself from being in the middle of everything, okay? The goal is not to work harder. or to be needed. The goal is to create something that can work without you. All right. Listen, that's the end of our conversation today. If you guys are interested in figuring out how you can create a business that can run without you, other than the steps we just give you, we'd love to have a conversation with you. You can go ahead and shoot me a message. I'd love to chat. We got some of our clients on here, which I'm super happy that they're here, learning and growing and continuing on that path to progress. But listen, one step at a time, one thing at a time. One of my favorite books is called The One Thing. And I love it because it takes what's complicated and just simplifies it down. If you're like me, there's 100 different things going on. Pick one, focus on that one. Let's solve that one thing. Okay. And I guarantee you will move from where you're at, a business that is tied around you and dependent on you, to one that can run without you. All right. That's all I got for you. You guys know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.